Hail Grace, it's Marriage Monday. Psalm 139 verse 16 says that God saw our unformed substance, in other words, that which was before birth. In Jeremiah chapter 1, God says to Jeremiah, when you were in your mother's womb, I formed you, or I formed that substance. And so God sees when we're unformed, and He is the one who forms us, and we are born. Now, in the same way, I think that God sees in that sense that unformed substance that is our pre-birth before Christ, and then when we are born again in Christ, He is the same one who has shaped that and formed that image of Christ, and He continues to shape and to form that image of Christ throughout our life as His disciples. And I think one of the best ways, one of the most profitable ways, one of the most successful ways that God shapes the new image and He forms the new image of Christ within us is in our marriages. So when we come face to face with another, we are coming face to face with another that God is also forming. And so when that begins to occur, we begin to see the unformed things within one another, or even we might say because of sin, the deformed things within one another. And so we come face to face with our attitudes, with the ways that we look at the world, with the ways that we look at one another, the ways that we want to do things. And all of that challenges us. And God comes and He uses that. He uses the relationship in marriage to shape and to form us. And one of the best things that we can do is to allow God to continue to shape and to form us, to allow Him the act of creation. He is, in fact, the creator. One of the worst things we can do is to preserve or to hold for ourselves our own creation. We determine that we want to self-create. We want to form our own self. We want to shape our own self. And so we don't allow God to work in us, and we don't allow Him to work in us by refusing to, many times, walk in His ways, refusing to forgive, or refusing to come to our spouse when we are angry. All of those things take place within our hearts. And so we can either self-create and cling to the unformed things or the deformed things, or we can surrender to God, we can surrender to Jesus in our marriages and allow Him to work in one another, through one another, allow Him to do the shaping and the forming. And so marriage is the great process that God uses to recreate or to create the new image of Christ within each of us. So let's let Him do what He does best. And what He does best is He creates, He makes new creations.